Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Bianca here, and today's video is going to be a Q&A. So I posted on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Snapchat for you guys to ask me questions that you wanted to know. I didn't get many questions, so it's not going to be a long video. I got questions on Snapchat and on Instagram. I did not get any questions on Facebook. So I'm going to do the Snapchat questions first, and then I'm going to do the Instagram questions. And basically from Snapchat, I just took the questions that were sent to me and I put them in my notes. And I have my computer right here. So, I'm going to be using my computer to read the questions from my notes from here, and I have it just sitting right here beside me. So I'm going to be reading the questions from there and then answering the questions for you guys. And the Instagram question, I basically I just copied and pasted them there. I think I only got like two or three questions on Instagram. Majority of the questions actually came from Snapchat. So the first question, what is your deepest fears? Well, they didn't play no games, did they? I would say failure is probably my biggest fear. Like, I have a fear of failing and not succeeding. Like, I work hard. I work really, really hard for what I want. And I'm at a point in life where I'm going after everything that I want. Like, I'm not letting fear stop me. I wouldn't say failure is gonna stop me, but if I had to say that I had a fear of anything, it's a fear of failure. Like, I do not want to fail. So yeah. The next question is, what was your biggest fear about becoming a mom? I was terrified. When I found out I was pregnant, I was terrified. It took me, I didn't even tell my mom. It was almost like my mom looked at me and kind of asked me, and I didn't tell her. I think my biggest fear was basically disappointing my family, because when I got pregnant, like, I was in college, so I graduated in 2009 from high school. And I went to Prairie View for undergrad, so I did 2 years at Prairie View. So after spring of 2011 is when I left, and I did not go back in the fall. I wanted to go back, and I was like, when I started my graduate program at Prairie View, I was going back and looking at my Prairie View emails to see that, like, I was registered for classes, and I had intentions of doing classes online, but that never came to fruition, like, not for Prairie View anyway at that time. So in 2011 I did not go back to school in the fall. I was working full time. I had my own apartment. And then November I got into a car wreck. I wrecked my car, totaled it out. And I had to go to the hospital. And that's actually how I found out that I was pregnant. I had no idea that I was pregnant. I didn't know, and I was terrified. I was more terrified of, I had a plan, I had a plan lined out for my life, and pregnancy was not one of them, like, having a baby wasn't one of them. And then not only that, I come from a single mother, and I saw my mom work her butt off to provide for us. And the situation that I was in, I knew I knew my outcome would be, I would be a single mother, and I didn't want that. I was more afraid of disappointing my mom, disrupting my plan that I had for my life, and then having a baby out of wedlock. So having a baby without being married, that was the biggest fear. I wouldn't say I actually had a fear about becoming a mother. I'm the oldest of many. I have 4 sisters and 1 brother, so I didn't actually have a fear of actually, raising a baby. It was more so the fear of disappointing my mother, disappointing my family, disappointing myself, not sticking to goals that I set for my life, basically. The next question is, where are you from? I am from Mississippi. You can probably tell I'm a little country. I'm from Mississippi. I After seventh grade is when I left. That's when we moved to Texas. So I was born in Mississippi, and I like to say that I was raised into an adult in Texas. Because I was, that's basically, really where I learned a lot in Texas. So Mississippi is where I'm from. Really itty bitty small town. I mean, like, I'm from a really small town. We like to say the small town with the big welcome. And a lot of people like, where are you from? Where are you from? And then I tell them that, and they're like, oh, I've never heard of that. So when I say Mississippi, I have to say something like, like 3 hours away from Jackson or something like that for people to know, to get an idea of exactly where I'm located. But I'm from Mississippi. And the next question is your dream job. My dream job. Wow. I have a lot of things that I want to do. So it's not just, like one thing that I dream of. I have a lot of, a lot of adventures, a lot of things that I want to go into. I'm doing one of them right now, which is YouTube. I was so scared when I started this channel. Well, actually, when I started it 2 years ago, I was just like, yeah, like I'm gonna do it. And at that time, it was just like I had like a little bitty glimpse of my acne clearing up. So I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it or whatever. And then I was just like, I got so afraid. I was so scared. So I just, I didn't want to put myself out there to be judged. And then I was like, but that's not the reason why you're doing YouTube. And so I had to overcome my fear in order for me to start back doing YouTube. So YouTube is one of the things that I really wanted to do. I love to create content. I love to come up with ideas. I like to talk. I love to talk. Like, I am a talker. So, but dream job, I want to get into the real estate industry. I want to flip houses. I want to mentor little girls. That's one of the, I wouldn't say that that's a dream job. Like, that's something that I can do now, but that's something that I want to do. I want to, I'm not going to tell you guys everything, but I'm doing one of them right now. But, and like, I have a lot of things that I really want to kind of get my hands into. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. The next question is your favorite color. My favorite color. I wouldn't necessarily say, like, is this like a favorite color to wear, or like just like my favorite color in general? I don't know. I'm like a blush pink girl. I love like the rosy pink. Even on my skin, like, I love it. It looks so good. In the winter, I love like the burnt orange, like that kind of tan color, or olive or burgundy. I don't really have a favorite color, but I like pink. Blush pink is, if I had to choose a favorite, it will probably be, like a rosy pink tone. And then the next one is, do you have a type? I used to have a type. My type, I used to have like, oh, I want you to be this, and I want you to be tall, and you gotta have straight teeth, and your shoes have to be on point, and just like all of this just crazy stuff. And now my biggest thing is, I want you to be a man of God. Like, I want you to be a one-woman's man. I want a monogamous relationship. Type, I need for you to be a go-getter like I am. I need you to be outgoing. I don't not like necessarily type as far as appearance. I don't have a type like that. I just I don't even know how to describe it. I wouldn't necessarily, like, I've dealt with a lot while dating. And it's just some stuff that I know, like, I do not want to re-raise a man. So that's just like, first off, like, I do not want to have to re-raise you. I do not want to have to mold you into the man that, whoever raised you felt. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I tried that. It did not work. What she said? She said you can't raise a man. So, yeah, I don't want a little boy. So My type is just basically someone that's after me. You have to be God-fearing. I have a child, so you have to be willing to come in and make a relationship with him, because he is my first priority over everything else. You have to be able to set a good example for my little boy, because if this was to work out, which with whoever, you will be the example for my son, being that I am a single mother. So yeah, I don't really have type. I don't know. The next question, what is this question? Are you single? No, I am not. No, I am not single. I am in a relationship. How old are you? I am 27 years young. 27. I'm 27. I am a March baby, so I was born March 22nd, and I am 27. And the next question is almost like a paragraph. First off, you're gorgeous. Secondly, what is your biggest motivator? How has it been a single mom? What area of your life do you feel like you've grown the most in 5 years? Where do you see yourself? So thank you so much. The first question, what is your biggest motivator? My son. My son is my biggest motivator. I want to be able to provide for him. I want to be able to set an example for him. I want him to look at me and say, I could have stopped. Basically, I should have stopped, but I beat all odds and I kept going. Yeah, Micah is my biggest motivator. Next, how was it being a single mom? I am a single mom, but like I told you guys before, I had a lot of help with my family. It's different now because I moved away from Dallas. I moved to Houston, and it's only me, my son, and my sister here. So it was very different moving. However, when I was in Dallas, I had a ton of help from my family, so much help. And when I say I had a ton of help, I mean as in, looking after my baby, watching him while I was going to work, when he was not in daycare, when I wanted to do stuff, when I wanted to go out and hang out with my friends, I didn't have to worry about trying to find a babysitter or things like that. I've always worked, so I've always been able to provide for my son. However, it was just it's the little, there are struggles being a single mom, it's especially, I think for me, it's been difficult because the lack of relationship. You know what? I'm not even gonna go into that. I'm just, there's struggles to being a single mom, being able to make sure that you're able to financially provide for your child, especially probably maybe within the first 2 years is when I struggled. No, probably it was maybe the first 3 years is when I struggled the most. I struggled a lot, and I'm not talking about baby. I'm talking about financial wise with my child. I struggled a lot. It was, I could not put him in daycare because honestly I couldn't afford it. So he went to daycare when he was, how old was he? He was 3. He was 3 when I put him in daycare. So the first 2 years is when I struggled. I couldn't afford to put him in daycare. Thankfully, my stepdad worked nights. So if I did need a babysitter, he was the one that kept him while I went to work. And then when my sisters got out of school, they helped. One of my sisters, at the time she wasn't working, she helped out a whole lot. When my mom wasn't working, she helped out. There was a period, when he was maybe around 1, that his dad had a friend whose girlfriend wasn't working, so we used her as a babysitter. So which was much cheaper. That's a different story for a different day, so I'm not going to go into details about that. But that didn't last very long. But other than that, it was, being a single mom is a struggle. And it's like, it's some stuff that I can't teach Micah as a woman. Like, I can't teach him, you know? I can do my best to raise him to the best of my ability, but as a woman and him being a little boy who's gonna, you know, grow into a man, there's just certain things that, being a single mother with you know, like, you can't teach your son, period. So, yeah. I feel like that got deep. The next question, what area of your life do you feel like you've grown the most in? I have matured a lot. I've always been very, very mature. I'm the oldest of 6, so my mom raised me, you know, very, very mature. What area have I grown in a lot? My mouth used to be very foul, and I mean very foul. Like, I would go, like, my attitude used to be really, really bad. I used to have a really bad attitude, so I feel like my attitude has definitely come a long way. And then also, you know, just relationship-wise, I've grown a lot relationship-wise. I've dealt with a lot in relationships that, and I've definitely grown from it. You know, I've learned from it. I think that may be, yeah, that may be the one. The one that I've grown the most in is definitely relationship-wise, dealing with people. Yeah. In 5 years, where do you see yourself? In 5 years, I see myself married. I plan to be married, you know, God willingly, in 5 years. I plan to have another child. I do want more kids, so I plan to have another child. Career-wise, I do not plan to be working for anybody. I plan to be, you know, an entrepreneur. So back to that question about dream job, I think that's like the best answer. Like, I want to be an entrepreneur. Like, yeah, that's my dream job. I would like to be an entrepreneur. I also plan to buy a home within the next 5 years. I want to travel more. I want to be, you know, more financially stable. I want to grow in Christ because I am still growing, so I want to grow in Christ. Business owner within the next 5 years. So, you know, I have some 5-year goals, but yeah, that's where I see myself. So, and that's the last question. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little bit more about me. If you were curious, if you have some questions for the ones who do not follow me on any of my social medias, because that's actually where I post the question, yeah, go ahead and drop them down below in the comment section. And if there's enough questions, then I will do another video in the future. And you know, don't forget to thumbs up it if you like it. Share it with your friends, you know, share it with your people. And don't forget to subscribe, you know, like, come join the family. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to thumbs up it if you like it, subscribe, and comment down below so I can keep up with you guys. So, yeah. Bye, guys.